Soos ons gister gesê het, stel ons vandag die kompas in op die skone kunste. Sascha Olivier Sampson is by ons op die kletsbank 'n bietjie later in die program om te gesels oor haar en Bernette Louw se nuwe uitstalling. Sy naam is Alchemy in die Abyss, is nog tot 2 November te sien by die Bellhaus Galerie en Atelier, andersom eintlik, hier in Windhoek. En dan wys ons net gou-gou daar vir jou, onthou om jou kaartjies te kry by e1280.my.na. Dis vir Valiant Swart, Vrydag aand hier in Windhoek. En ook Lis Meyring, sy gaan die terug die komedie van die rak af doen as deel van Windhoek se woordfees. Kaartjies by e1280.my.na.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Christine Kreer gesels saam met ons net oor van die nuus van die dag. Dieter Marie het 'n projek begin wat nogal geïnspireer is deur 'n foto, né? En dis weer een van daai mooi stories hoe ons as Namibiërs uitreik na mekaar.
Ja, ek dink dit is so, baie van ons sien foto's van mense wat swaar kry en ons kry hulle jammer, maar min van ons neem aksie en hy was braaf genoeg om te besluit, hy neem aksie. Tussen, sedertdien het hy, is hulle nou al 'n hele groep vrywilligers en hulle help mense reg oor die hele land en dit is regtig inspirasie.
Lees meer, die projek se naam is Ikagai. Ek is seker enige iemand kan ook kontak maak met hulle. En help het begin in Oktober in die Nou-Aip buurt en toe uitgebrei na klomp plekke in Namibië, hele lysie daar. Jy skryf natuurlik dikwels oor die regskwessies en boedels, nee, en die afhandeling daarvan is al bitter lank. Ek sê hulle het nou baie klagtes ontvang, maar daai klagtes kom al dekades lank. Maar die minister van Justisie sê daar is lig in hierdie tonnel.
Ja, ek dink dit is 'n kwessie wat baie Namibiërs raak en ek was baie beïndruk met hoe die minister van Justisie Yvonne Dalsy hieroor gepraat het. Jy kan sien, sy sien daar is 'n kwessie. Sy wil graag mense se klagtes aanspreek en hulle het planne ook om dit te doen. Hulle wil graag die wet op die administrasie van boedels herroep, omdat dit verouderd is, kom reeds uit 1960 uit, en dan nodige wysigings aanbring om seker te maak dat hulle meer mense kan aanstel, dat mense meer magte het. En dan buiten vir die groot vertragings wat daar is daar ook baie praktisyns wat hierdie proses misbruik en wat bates misbruik, wat amper nog 'n groter kwessie is. En een van die wysigings wat hulle ook wil maak is om vir die meester van die Hoërhof 'n mag te gee om hierdie praktisyns ook te kan reguleer en hulle soort van te dwing om aan sperdatums te voldoen, en dit sal ook natuurlik help met die afhandeling bietjie vinniger te maak.
Daar is reeds 'n reuse agterstand, het die minister ook erken. Twee interessante dinge, hulle wil ook dit baie makliker maak vir ons gewone mense in leuke taal en 'n elektroniese stelsel daarstel, dat jy van oral oor in die land eintlik die proses kan hanteer. En dan is daar die ding van selfhersiening, dat mense selfs besluite kan neem voor hierdie ding in 'n hof gaan draai en dan nog langer Nee.
Ja, dit is ook een van die belangrike goed wat sy uitgewys het. Op die oomblik, as jy ontevrede is met 'n besluit van die kantoor van die meester van die Hoërhof, dan moet jy hof toe gaan. Jy moet daai besluit in die hof uitdaag, want ons wette maak nie voorsiening dat 'n liggaam kan teruggaan op 'n besluit wat hulle geneem het nie. 'n Ander liggaam, verkieslik 'n hoër liggaam, moet daardie besluit kan hersien en dit tersyde stel. Maar dit kos mense weer geld, dit vat baie langer vir hofsaake om afgehandel te word. So een van die wysigings wat hulle wil bring is dat hulle die magte het om terug te gaan op besluite wat hulle reeds geneem het. En as hulle voel, hulle het dit nie so regverdig hanteer nie, of as die bekommernisse wat met hulle gedeel is, goeie gronde het, dat hulle kan teruggaan en daardie besluite hersien, wat ek dink ten voordeel is van almal en natuurlik vinniger afhandeling van hierdie kwessies.
Dankie Christine, altyd baie meer aanlyn, is klein bietjie later, Erongomed se mediese invoegsel, bly net waar jy is. Die somer word al hoe warmer hier in Namibië. Hoe lyk die minimum temperature vir vandag en die maksimums vir môre? Hier is die hoofsentra in Namibië op Rundu. 20 grade vandag, die maksimum daar is 41. 38 grade word voorspel vir Oshakati met 'n minimum van 18 op Tsumeb, 24 en 37. Otjiwarongo is 17 grade, vandag 1 graad koeler op Omaruru, 16 met 'n maksimum van 37. Dan op Windhoek 18 grade en die kook gaan hier in die hoofstraat draai by 34 grade Celsius. Aan die Namibiese kus swak op Moon 13, maksimum daar 'n koel 15 grade, Rehoboth se minimum is 15 grade, maksimum 36. Meer suidwaarts Keetmanshoop 17 grade, Aranos 15 grade vandag met 'n maksimum van 36 en dan op Ariamsluy 19 en die maksimum van 35 grade Celsius.
Borskanker is een van die mees algemene tipes kanker wat in 2022 wêreldwyd 670.000 sterftes veroorsaak het. 'n Nuwe studie van die Universiteit van Kopenhagen toon nou dat KI vroue kan help met verbeterde behandeling deur te skandeer vir selle wat onreëlmatig lyk om sodoende 'n beter risikobepaling te gee. Die studie het bevind dat die KI-tegnologie baie beter was om die risiko van kanker te voorspel as huidige kliniese maatstawwe vir borskankerrisiko. Die navorsers het deep learning KI-tegnologie wat aan die Universiteit van Kopenhagen ontwikkel is, gebruik om borsweefselbiopsies van skankers te ontleed om te kyk vir tekens van beskadigde selle, 'n aanduiding van kankerrisiko. Die studie het ook bevind dat die KI-tegnologie baie beter was om die risiko van kanker te voorspel as huidige kliniese maatstawwe vir borskankerrisiko-assessering. 'n Kernaspek van die beoordeling van kankerrisiko is om te soek na sterwende selle, wat veroorsaak word deur sogenaamde cellulêre veroudering. Verouderde selle is steeds metabolies aktief, maar het opgehou om te deel. Vorige navorsing het getoon dat hierdie toestand kan help om kankerontwikkeling te onderdruk. En verouderde selle kan egter ook ontsteking veroorsaak, wat dan nou weer tot tumorontwikkeling kan lei. Deur die sogenaamde deep learning KI te gebruik om na die sekere selle in weefselbiopsies te soek, kon die navorsers die risiko van borskanker beter voorspel as die Gale-model, die huidige goue standaard vir die assessering van borskankerrisiko.
Erongomed is a leading distributor, working in partnership with NewMed and WestMed to meet the comprehensive needs of the Namibian healthcare sector. As a partner pursuing sustainable global healthcare, we offer industry-leading medical solutions through our key focus areas, which include pharmaceuticals, orthopedics, ophthalmology, surgical devices, and capital equipment, as well as a well-established scientific laboratory division. In healthcare, Erongomed is committed to making a difference. What about you?
Baie hartlike kletswelkom aan Sascha Olivier Sampson.
Baie
Welkom
dankie.
hier op die kletsbank.
Baie dankie.
Vertel vir mense net so 'n bietjie oor jouself. Jy
Okay.
weet in jou agtergrond van die mense ken waarskynlik nie vir jou nie, alhoewel baie van ons jou ken.
I'm going to switch to English just for sake of proper explanation. So, yeah, I'm Sascha, and those who might recognize my face probably know me through dance, because that's what I've really been immersed in for many years. But I think a more accurate way to describe me is a creative, because I dance, act, sing. I'm a fashion designer and an artist. And I think the artist part is what people will be most unfamiliar with in relation to me, because this is the first time I'm doing an exhibition. But I grew up in a household that was fully artistic. My dad was a painter, he was an artist, and I actually studied art as one of my subjects at university. So I have been fully immersed in the genre of visual arts from the beginning, but it is the first time that people get to see what I'm producing.
Jy skilder in akriel, dis die skilderwerke by die uitstalling. Die ander is beeldhouwerke wat Bernette Louw, sy's van die kus, gedoen het. So ons gaan gou bietjie na haar werk kyk, net vir daardie deel van die konteks. Sascha, die uitstalling se naam is Alchemy in the Abyss. Sê weer, dis tot 2 November nog te sien by die Bellhaus Atelier Galerie hier in die hoofstad. Jy het nou gesê dis jou heel eerste uitstalling. Het julle van die begin saamgewerk, besluit op hierdie tema, of hoe dit alles bymekaar gekom?
Okay, so it was actually a super happy combination of totally random circumstances. I approached the Bellhaus Gallery in terms of the exhibition because I had a body of work that I really wanted to exhibit and to develop. And after a meeting with them, she was immediately tuned into the portfolio of work that Bernette does, because it also relates to ocean life, sea life, etc. So it was on seeing and hearing what I was busy with and what the overall feel and look of the exhibition was in my mind, that she was like, I know somebody who would be perfect to have a co-exhibition with. And they immediately got on the phone with Bernette, and the two bodies of work just complement each other so well.
Abyss beteken in Afrikaans, jy weet, soort van afgrond. En ons weet daar's ook afgronde binne in die see, binne in die oseane. Hoekom daai begrip saam met alchemy?
Okay, that's such a good question. And the concept of alchemy in the abyss is, and you'll see between my works and Bernette's works, it kind of covers a full scope of what one experiences and sees and feels when you think about the ocean. So you have the light-hearted, beautiful, whimsical side that Bernette sculptures bring, and then you've got the darker element through the paintings. And for me, I have a real fear/respect of deep water, not just the ocean, but deep water. And when starting all the work, it really originated from a color, which was the color blue. And from there, it expanded. And with working with the materials that I do, it just took on the scope of a very ocean-like experience. And so that's what I delved into. And in terms of alchemy in the abyss, it is highlighting the fact that there's so much that is unseen and unknown, and it's a bit mystical and magical, this whole world that is unknown to us. For some people it is exciting, what could be there. For other people it's fearful. So when you're looking at the works, what does it make you feel? What is the experience that you associate with that environment, with being in that capacity of full submersion?
Daar is ook altyd 'n alchemie tussen die mens en die natuur. En deesdae is die bewaring van die oseane een van die grootste kwessies in die wêreld, besoedeling en dis meer. Bernette spesifiek, né, werk met herwinde materiale. Dis waar sy haar beelde maak. So is dit ook iets waarop jy die fokus indirek wil plaas.
I think indirect is the correct term for that, and especially considering how Namibia's coastline is involved now in so much industry. There is an awareness of what the human to nature impact is, and it's just something to constantly be aware of. And yes, like you said, Bernette does use recycled materials because her material of choice is paper mache, which you would never say looking at her work. The way that she uses it is incredible. It looks like ceramic. But there is definitely always, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, an awareness of your environment and your surroundings and how it impacts what you do on a day-to-day.
Jou medium is acryl. Hoekom dit? Hoekom hou jy van acryl as verf?
Yes, I actually end up mixing a few little secret ingredients into my acrylics to create different reactions with the materials. So I don't use straight acrylic. I mix it a little bit because with that, like I said, you get different reactions to the materials and then also different textures, and it creates a life and a special aesthetic of its own that you don't get from using acrylic straight out of the container. So it's a little bit of a mix, and also I like the water-based consistency of acrylic because the way that you can mix materials, not just the paints but external materials as well, really does give it a life of its own.
Jy het gesê die wegspringplek is blou, maar ek dink jou werk wys ook dat as mens na die see kyk, sien ons natuurlik nie net blou nie, nee. Jy sien daar die ander sprankels ook.
Yeah, for sure. And if anyone is still able to make it to the exhibition by the 2nd of November, you will see in the works the different shades of blue, I think, which you can also, at different times of day, different times of the year, if you look at the ocean, you see from turquoise to the darker tones, as well as the little splashes of color that kind of hint towards tropical sea life, the coral reefs, the different life forms that all inhabit that environment.
Space is often thought of, as the next frontier, and the oceans are an unexplored frontier.
Yeah.
En as mens na jou werke kyk, mens kry ook daardie gevoel, asof die see saam met die ruimte en die sterre gesels, wat natuurlik ook ons getye hoogwater en laagwater bepaal.
Yeah, and Bernette and I were actually having this discussion about how there's always this race for space to discover the next thing, but what we have here on our planet is still so unexplored, undiscovered, and it's right here at our fingertips. But again, there's the unknown, that fear of the deep, that not knowing if one can survive within those depths, and within that is the alchemy that lies within the abyss.
Buiten vir acryl eksperimenteer jy reeds ook met ander mediums? Wat is op die horison vir 'n volgende uitstalling miskien?
So, excuse me, I really love different texture. So it's about looking at what materials you can add to the paint to give them a different consistency, different textures, different ways that they react with each other. So my dad, for instance, who I mentioned, used to be an artist, used to work very intensively with sand, different textures of sand. And that really brings a whole new dimension to the paint, and it feels like you want to touch it, like you want to go up to the artwork and actually feel, because it's so textured. So what I will be adding to the next one is still a little bit within my playground. I'm still trying to decide, but there will always be an integration of additional materials to the paint, just to enhance what they already have and to see what is the full scope that that material can give you.
Oor hierdie uitstalling wil ek jou tog vra. Dis miskien moeilik. Het jy een gunsteling werk, jy weet, een wat vir jou uitstaan bo die ander? En wat
I'll tell you what, I have had my favorite change throughout the process. But when I think about my artwork selling, there is one that I hope stays behind, and it is Storm in the Ocean. It's a smaller work, but I can't tell you what it is exactly about that piece, but it's always the one that my heart goes back to a little bit. But in terms of the rest of the exhibition, I will say that each piece has had its place as my favorite along the way for different reasons. And then seeing them as well in the space where they're being exhibited has, you know, presented me with a way to see them in a new light and differently. So once again, they've all done the cycle of being my favorite.
Finally, you said people know you mostly for, you know, the stage, for dancing, etc.
Yes.
Do you plan to make the fine arts more a bigger part of your repertoire as an artist?
So I really feel that when you're involved in artistic creative endeavors, it's really important to give each one a time, because the process that goes into creating really does benefit the others. So the way that my brain works when I'm creating artwork sometimes sparks an idea of what I might like to do as a performer. So it does fluctuate through what currently has the focus, but I'm definitely going to be continuing in terms of visual arts and also the fashion design. Dance will never be forgotten. In fact, there's, you know, being the end of the year, there's a lot of things coming up, but it's very exciting for me to have finally taken the leap to explore the visual arts side of my interests and my training, and to express art in that way, because I think with all things, audiences appreciate different things. So you'll have people who really enjoy stage and performance, and others who really prefer the quieter side of performance and art, which is your exhibition. So in that way, you reach a bigger audience, but through different medium.
Sascha, baie dankie dat jy by ons kom kuier het.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
En onthou, 2 November is naby, gaan loer daar by die Bellhaus hier in Windhoek na Alchemy in die Abyss.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Onthou om elke week maandag tot donderdag by ons aan te sluit vir nog Namibiërs se stories en insigte oor al wat 'n onderwerp is. Sien jou môre weer.